What's going down, everybody? Coming at you from the inside of the 2009 Ram 1500. So it's a beautiful day today. It's Tuesday. It's after work, man. So check it out, man. I did my pad slap slash inspect the rotor video. I put it out yesterday. I did the work Sunday. So, man, we have to talk about this. Man, we have to talk about this. So check it out. Check it out, yo. So I drove it to work yesterday, which would have been Monday. And I mean, no sooner than I got on the freeway, dude, I could tell that the truck was not going to be safe enough to drive. Now, the back end was real shaky, you know, real loose feeling, which ain't right for a straight axled vehicle like my truck. So, and it grinded, dude. It still grinded bad, dude. And the pads just made the worst sound, man. And the warp in the rotor was so bad, dude, that when I hit the brakes, I mean, it was etchy, fellas. Just believe me, dude. It was scary. Even for a guy like me, that's all or nothing, man. It was too much. So, with all that being said, man, I drove the 03 to work today, and I'm gonna drive it the rest of the week. That brake kit's supposed to be in tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. So when I get that, we'll go through, we're gonna do a little unboxing video. We're gonna take a look at what we got. And then this weekend, we're gonna get into doing all full wheels, and then we'll do them correctly. Now, I'm kind of putting this video out, man, to kind of get at y'all about the whole point of when I said in the video that I put out yesterday about if you don't know what you're doing, then don't do it. Now, the example being with that is that as soon as I got on the road, as soon as I hit the brakes, as soon as I got to operating speed, which is 65 miles an hour around here, I knew instantly the truck was not safe enough to drive. And with that, I said, hey, I gotta pull it over. I got home from work yesterday. I hadn't drove it since. It's gonna sit here, man. It's just not safe. And if you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know how your car feels when it's running right versus when something's wrong, then don't do something like that, man. Don't risk it. I'm not so much worried about the back wheel coming off the truck, but if that rotor separates, man, it could cause catastrophic damage to the back, man. You got flying chunks of rotor, you got brake lines, you got calipers, you got wheel wells and shocks, and there's all kind of things back there that as it's coming apart, it could hit and destroy. And if you've been with me long, which I know a lot of you guys have, you already know I'm not into spending that extra money. I'm not into going all out like that, man. I want to fix what's wrong, and that's it. You know, I'm all about saving money, getting it going. And with that being said, dude, I don't work on people's cars, man. I work on my 2 trucks and my mother and father's car. So some of my tips and tricks ain't for you guys out there that work on customers' cars and things like that. These are tips and tricks to keep your own personal vehicle going. If you don't have the money, if you're cheap like I am and you need to keep your car going, right? Or you're out on a limb, you're broke down on the side of the road, and you're looking for a way to get your car home. Because if you're like me, I don't leave my truck sitting on the side of the road anywhere. I will drag it home with a rope before I leave it on the side of the road somewhere. So, man, I felt like I need to go through all this. I've been putting videos out for almost 2 years now, and I've never really got at y'all like that. So I wanted to touch bases on the brakes because those are important, and the truck is too unsafe to drive, in my personal opinion. And with the heat being as hot as it is right now when it's not raining, and then it rains, and then the humidity, man, I don't trust it. Them brakes get hot, hot, hot. So before I get out of here, man, 2 more things. First thing, I had a comment about the washers behind the driver's side rotor. Now, I didn't take the passenger side rotor off. By the time I seen it, I figured we'll throw it back together, ride it out. Wow, the camera almost fell. So with that, this weekend, when we do the full wheel brakes, we'll get into that. And if there's washers behind there, I'm taking them off again, because I don't see the point in that, and I don't understand it. I really don't. They're not on the front, and I've taken the front ones off, so I know they're not on the front wheels, but it could be on the back. Passenger side, I don't know, dude. I've tried looking it up. I hadn't heard anything about Dodge doing anything like that from factory. So maybe somebody was getting into something crazy or needed to space the wheel out just a little bit. I'm not really sure. And then last but not least, I drove the truck today to work, the 03 Ram 1500. Today is Tuesday. I put my video out yesterday and drove the white truck to work yesterday to find out it was unsafe as it could ever be to drive at this point. But with that, about the 03, if you remember my video from Sunday, I said that the charging thing wasn't right and I showed y'all the gauge. Now, today the charging gauge acted right, and when I got home, I put my voltmeter on there. I had 12.9 volts on the battery just sitting there and 14.05 volts on the battery with it running, which lets me know the alternator is charging, which it seemed a little weak, but as long as it charges over 14 volts, man, I ain't even tripping, yo. So with all that, man, keep living the dream, doing your thing, like and subscribe. And this weekend, we'll do the 4-wheel brakes, and that'll be what's up. So stay tuned, and I'm out.